Four corners. Underwater treasures. Underwater treasure. Imagine exploring shipwrecks and sunken cities for lost treasures. Underwater archaeologists do this every day. They often find artifacts. Artifacts may be buried in the ocean bed, in dark, deep and dangerous waters. They need to be excavated with great care. Every shipwreck or lost city contains artifacts that can help us understand how people lived in the past. In this book you can discover 5 underwater sites and the secrets they hold. Artifacts from Port Royal that have been cleaned and restored. A diver uncovers part of a building in Port Royal, which is now underwater. It was once a thriving city in the Caribbean. Uncovering the Mary Rose. In 1545, King Henry VIII of England watched his navy sail off to fight invading French ships. The pride of his fleet of ships was the Mary Rose, a majestic warship lined with guns and cannons. The ship was heavily loaded with weapons and was unstable. Just over a kilometer offshore, a gust of wind tipped the ship heavily to one side. Water flooded through the battle doors and within 1 minute, the Mary Rose had sunk. More than 700 people drowned. This is the only picture of the Mary Rose. It was painted in 1546, a year after the ship sank. The Mary Rose project began with British diver Alexander McKee. Centuries later, in 1965, Alexander McKee began to search for the long-lost ship. McKee lived on the south coast of England near the place where the Mary Rose had sunk. He had learned about the Mary Rose as a boy and had made up his mind to find it. People thought he was crazy to think a wooden ship could have lasted underwater for so long. They gave him the nickname Mad Mac, but McKee was determined. A great adventure was about to begin. The Dean brothers. In the 1830s, the inventors of the first diving helmet, the Dean brothers, discovered the Mary Rose by accident. They were searching for lost fishing equipment when they stumbled across some guns and cannons. They realized they had found the wreck of the Mary Rose. Soon after, however, the Mary Rose and its location were forgotten. This diving helmet is similar to the one used by the Dean brothers. Wreck site. Different people had various ideas about exactly where the Mary Rose might have sunk. Alexander McKee checked many old maps and charts until he found a 19th-century marine chart that marked a site just off the south coast of England. A diver prepares to dive down to the site of the Mary Rose. McKee gathered a team of divers, who worked without payment. Some had heard about McKee's nickname. They laughed and called themselves Mad Max Marauders. They were keen to prove other people wrong. The team dived from small boats using scuba diving gear. However, they found it difficult to see anything in the murky waters. In 1967, after nearly 2 years of searching, McKee and his team borrowed some sonar equipment. With the help of this technology, they discovered a strange, oval-shaped hump about 61 meters long. A dredger raised a mysterious object. As it was raised, McKee's team realized it was an iron gun from the Mary Rose. They knew they had found the site of the wreck. Soon, they also found a ship's wooden frame. They had finally found the Mary Rose. A diver investigates a wheel from a gun carriage on the Mary Rose. Sonar equipment. Sonar stands for sound navigation and ranging. It is used to find underwater objects by bouncing electronic sound waves off them. The discovery of the Mary Rose caused great excitement. Mad Mac was not so mad after all. For 7 years, a team of divers, led by archaeologist Margaret Rule, continued to uncover the ship. They found that the ship had landed on its starboard side, with its port side projecting up. Over the years, mud and silt had buried the starboard side, protecting it from marine worms and salty water. The port side was not protected and had mostly decayed. McKee and his team saw their years of searching pay off. They raised thousands of 16th-century artifacts. There were wooden longbows, musical instruments, board games, and even a pot of ointment with a fingerprint still in it. More than 200 skeletons were also discovered. A large tankard, mug, found in the mud near the Mary Rose is being carefully cleaned. Objects found in the wreck included a comb